Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. For those who may not know me, my name is Wumi Ajayi. I am a child of God. I love the Lord. I've been a Christian for over 40 years. In my day job, I am a nurse. I've been nursing for over 33 years. And in my spare time, I am a marriage and relationship coach. I am married. I've been married for 25 years, and my husband and I are passionate in supporting married couples to grow and thrive in their marriages and to enjoy their relationships. So if you're new to my channel, I've got loads of videos that I've done. Please check them out on my YouTube channel. So today I'll be continuing on my series on the Big C. So today it's about the big C of compromise. And compromise is a word that we probably have heard one time or another, either as part of your marriage counseling or people advising you before you got married or after you got married or when you're having issues about compromise. People say things like compromise is one of the secrets of a happy marriage. Marriage is all about compromise and all that. And this is not just a cliche, this is very, very true because marriage is a partnership. Marriage is a relationship where two people embark on a journey. And to enjoy the journey and to get to your destination, it's important that the two people agree. But agreement is not always easy to achieve, mainly because of our differences. And this is why we all need to learn the art of compromise. Compromise is crucial for a successful and fulfilling marriage. When we cannot agree, when there's a conflict, it's important that we compromise. We compromise by making concessions. Compromise entails finding a middle ground, a happy medium, where both partners' needs and desires and opinions are respected. In Romans 12, verse 10, the Bible says, "Be kindly affectionate to one another with brotherly love, in honor, giving preference to one another." So, compromise in marriage does not mean giving up our values or always conceding to our spouse's wishes, because when we always concede, this can lead to resentment. Rather, it's about negotiating, it's about adapting in a way that honors both our perspectives. Compromise in marriage is finding a solution where both of us can give up some of what we want to find a middle ground that is acceptable to both of us. So it's a mutual process of settling differences, and it requires open communication, mutual respect, and a willingness to meet in the middle on decisions, whether they are small decisions like, where we go for the weekend, or whether, there are bigger decisions as to, whether we're buying a house or which house we're buying. So let's look at the different aspects of compromise. So the first one is finding a middle ground. So when we are finding a middle ground, instead of one person getting everything they want, a compromise is an agreement where each partner gets some of their needs met. So it's not me giving up everything I want so that you can have everything you want. It's me giving up some of what I want and you giving up some of what you want to find a middle ground. Now, mutual concession when it comes to compromise means that both of us are willing to let go of some of the things that we want, or the position that we're taking to reach a solution that works for both of us. So, in mutual concession, it is not me letting go of my original desires, letting go of everything I want. It is both of us letting go of some of what we want. We're mutually conceded so that we can reach a solution that works for both of us. And these two aspects of compromise are very important when we're trying to resolve disagreements. It's a key tool that helps us to navigate our differences. So, for example, let's say, where we go on holiday. If my husband wants to go to Italy and I want to go to France, compromise means that we're able to sit down and say, okay, you want to go to Italy, I want to go to France. Let's make a decision. Where do we go first? And then we can decide that, okay, we'll go to Italy this year. And the compromise means that next time we go to France, even though that's not where you want to go. That's how compromise works. As married couples, we have to learn the art of compromise in different areas of our lives. Whether, like I said, in big things or small things, it's important that we're able to compromise when it comes to resolving conflicts that arises in different areas of our lives, whether in our daily routines and chores, who does this, who does that, financial decisions, how we budget, what we save, what we spend our money on, social life, time that we spend with friends, time that we spend at home, whether we go on holiday, whether we stay at home, and things like that. Parenting approach, aligning our values on how we want to discipline our children, how we want to raise our children, and in big life choices, deciding where to live, career changes, where we buy a house, which house we buy, and other significant decisions that affect both partners. It's important that we learn the art of compromise. Now, when it comes to compromise, we can have a healthy compromise and unhealthy compromise. A healthy compromise ensures that both our needs are considered and that neither party feel that they are completely sacrificing for the other person. And that is the difference between a healthy and an unhealthy compromise. A healthy compromise involves active listening and mutual respect and finding a solution that makes both partners feel heard and both partners' needs partially met. So, in a healthy compromise, it's not just about you and it's not just about me, it's about both of us. We must both be prepared to listen actively to each other and to respect each other's opinion. An unhealthy compromise is when one partner is not truly happy or they feel that they're just giving in or caving in to the other person either because, oh, I just don't want conflict. They want to avoid conflict. So they give in, but they're not truly happy. And this is often as a result of lack of open communication when we are not able to express our opinions, our desires, and our needs to our spouses. And sometimes it could also be as a result of manipulative behavior from our spouses. So we give in to them because we want to avoid conflict. A healthy compromise involves healthy sacrifice. Healthy sacrifice in the sense that it's a mutual sacrifice for the betterment of the relationship. An unhealthy sacrifice involves one person giving up their needs. So one person is making all the sacrifice. No, in a healthy compromise, both partners are mutually sacrificing for the betterment of the relationship. A healthy compromise allows partners to maintain their personal values and identity while you are still finding shared solution. But in an unhealthy compromise, it can erode your identity. An unhealthy compromise seeks to change you. An unhealthy compromise seeks to use you. So when we're talking about compromise in marriage, we have to ensure that we're practicing healthy compromise. So I'm going to talk about a few tips to healthy compromise. One of it I already mentioned, open communication. It's important that we're able to effectively express our needs because sometimes that's the problem that we have. Sometimes we are clouded by emotions, so we're not able to effectively express our needs. And it's also important that in open communication, we actively listen to each other's perspectives. This is very crucial. We should be able to freely express our thoughts, our feelings, our perspective honestly to our spouses. And we should be people that listen actively to each other as well. For healthy compromise, we must be willing to negotiate. And willingness is the key word. We must be willing to negotiate. We must be people that approach disagreements as opportunities to find solutions together rather than a win or lose battle. It's also important that we stay respectful when we are trying to find compromise. Mutual respect is important. We must be partners that respect each other's differing opinions and feelings. We must avoid blaming, we must avoid shaming, we must avoid dismissing our partner's perspectives. It's disrespectful when we dismiss our spouse's perspective, when we shame them, when we blame them. We must be mutually respectful of each other's opinions. It might not be your opinion. Your opinion might be completely different from mine. But for us to find a healthy compromise, it's important that my spouse respects my own opinion as well. And in a healthy compromise, it's also important that we know your non negotiables. So, in other words, you have to know what is important to you. So in this matter that we're talking about, what is you want A, B, C, and D. Out of A, B, C, and D, what are your non-negotiables? What are the things that are important to you? What are the things that you're able to be flexible about? What are the things that you're not flexible about? So you know that you can't have A, B, C, and D, but it's important if B and C are more important to you. It's important that you're able to identify the ones that you're able to do away with and the ones that you are not able to do away with, because then that helps the process of compromise. In healthy compromise, it's important that we also focus on the big picture. And the big picture is the health of our marriage. We have to remember that maintaining harmony and happiness in marriage is more important than being right. And it's more important than one person having their way in any situation that we find ourselves. And the last one is it's important that we learn to be creative. So we must be willing to find creative solutions, solutions that blend both partners' preferences, solutions that can lead to a win win scenario where you actually get what you want and I also get what I want. And it takes both of us seeking creative ways to meet our needs to actually make sure that we get a win win scenario. Benefits of healthy compromise. I'm just going to run through them. Some of them I've been alluding to as I was talking. It fosters mutual respect. So when we're able to practice healthy compromise in our relationship, it demonstrates that we value each other's opinions and feelings. It strengthens our relationship because when we're able to navigate our differences, when we don't run away from the fact that we have differing opinions, we have differing needs. When we're able to navigate those differences with understanding and flexibility, it actually builds trust and it deepens our emotional intimacy. And at the end of the day, it strengthens our relationship. Healthy compromise also prevents resentment because when both partners feel heard and supported, it reduces the likelihood of resentment and lingering frustration. In a situation of an unhealthy compromise where somebody feels that they're the ones that's always giving in, they're the ones that's always having to cave in, they're the ones that are always having to, forego their needs and forego their desires, it can lead to, long-term resentment and frustration in our marriages. So when we're able to practice healthy compromise, we actually prevent resentment. Healthy compromise also encourages growth because compromise is challenging. It challenges us to see things from our spouse's perspective. It challenges us to see things from new perspectives and to adapt to changing circumstances. So, we as individuals, it encourages us to grow. As a couple in our marriage, it encourages us to grow. And a healthy compromise fosters a sense of teamwork. When we're able to resolve our issues, yes, we're coming from a point of differing opinions, differing needs, differing thought. But when we're able to jointly and amicably come to a solution or make a joint decision that we're both happy with, it gives us a sense of teamwork. It gives us a sense of we are in this together and we can do this. Now, before I conclude, I just want to throw in a note of caution. I've been talking about compromise, but compromise should never come at the expense of one's safety or one's self respect or of one's core values. So, in situations, for example, in a situation of abuse or a situation of manipulation or a situation of fundamental moral wrong, or, as Christians, something that is biblically wrong, something that goes against Christian virtues or Christian principles. In a situation of abuse, compromise does not even come in. So those are situations where we should not just compromise blindly. We should seek help. We should seek support. We should seek second opinions from trusted professionals and trusted individuals for advice and counsel. So I've talked about compromise, what compromise is in marriage. I've talked about healthy and unhealthy compromise. I've talked about tips that we can use to practice compromise in our relationship. I've talked about the benefit of compromise. So I just want to conclude by saying that compromise is a vital skill that enables our marriages to thrive because it allows us to value each other's viewpoints and it helps us to work together to find mutually acceptable solutions. It helps us to build resilient relationships that is grounded on mutual respect, on empathy, and on love. And a willingness to compromise is not a sign of weakness, and it should not be seen as such. In fact, it is a testament to the strength and maturity of our relationship. Thank you so much for joining me. Like I always say, marriage is to be enjoyed, not to be endured. And if you're watching this video, you're looking at, improving your marriage, or you want to enjoy your marriage better and you don't know where to start, I'm going to refer you to my videos. Don't worry, my YouTube channel is not monetized. So this is not about driving traffic to my channel. I want to refer you to my channel, my YouTube channel. And I want to recommend that you and your spouse, there's enough video for you to go through every week. I want to recommend you and your spouse go onto my YouTube channel, take a video each week, watch it together, discuss it, and look at how you can apply them to your lives and to your marriage. And I can assure you that your marriage will not be the same after that. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in my next video. God bless you. Bye.